Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be doing another reaction video. I'll be reacting to an animated story. It's from Storytime Animated. I think it's a very popular animated channel. And yeah, I'll be doing the story. It says, I did not know my covering was my sister. I felt like it was a very interesting heading and I would like to know what it's all about. And then I decided that because I've been watching a few animated stories and I've watched a few people react to animated stories, I thought that I'll do one to sing that I liked so much. So let's get on to the video.
The first time I met Sarah was at a college party. I was helping myself to some fruit punch when she approached me. I have no clue why she walked up to me. I was this shy, awkward kid who had barely even spoken to a girl before. But then we started chatting, and next thing I knew, we were dating. It felt so right being with her. She was so kind and funny, and I loved her. It was towards our last year at college that I really started to think about marrying her. Now, Sarah wasn't exactly the open type of girl. She never told me about her past or about her family. All I knew was that she grew up in Kansas like me, and she went to college because that's what her mom wanted her to do. And that was about it. I didn't even meet her mom until our second year anniversary. Of course, as soon as my own mom heard I managed to get a girlfriend, she immediately called, insisting we have dinner together. We all had dinner together, myself, Sarah, and my mom. My dad had left the family long ago. All I had of him was this old picture. I was only 6 years old and he was holding me in his lap. He always wore a suit and tie, and his black hair was peppered.
Why is the music so creepy though? Like, I feel like something bad's gonna happen, like something really, really bad. I was like, whoa.
I always hated my dad for that. Sarah and I lived happily together for a couple of years. We had all the same interests: painting, hiking, watching movies late at night. But no matter how close we got, I always felt.
How weird is it gonna be when they find out that their brother and sister they've been dating for years? Like, yeah. How weird is it gonna be?
Your dad, how come you never talk about your family? But I would always get the same sly response. I'll tell you another time.
Oh my word, maybe she knew that they were brother and sister. How? How? That's disturbing if she knew that they were brother and sister. Oh my word, no.
So I could only afford a small diamond ring. But still, I was going to propose. There was no doubt in my mind. I wanted to marry Sarah. I planned on proposing to her at her house. We normally had date night at hers, since her mother never seemed to mind. We ordered pizza, put on a movie, while the ring rested in the back pocket of my pants. I was so nervous, I couldn't even.
Oh, what is about to propose to his sister? How weird.
How I would get down on one knee. Would she say yes? Would she get mad at how ordinary it was? I wasn't the romantic kind of guy. Surely she would appreciate the sentiment. As these thoughts raced through my head, Sarah leaned against me, oblivious. Then the movie came to an end. This was it. This was my cue. My hand fumbled in my back pocket, and I was about to pull out the ring when Sarah spoke. I want to tell you something, she said nervously. What is it? I asked. I was slightly annoyed by the interruption, but I could tell this was serious. It's about my father, she said. I felt my stomach jolt. In the 3 years since we'd been together, she had.
Even I'm getting nervous at this point. Like, what is she gonna say, seeing that she might know that they are brother and sister? But like, why, if she knows that they're brother and sister, why would she like go on with the relationship? It's so weird. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Oh, long. But it's time I told you. What? I said curiously. My father left us years ago. My mom still doesn't really know who he was. He just sort of came into her life, then left as soon as I was born. I remained silent. For her, this was a lot to share. Sarah leaned over, rummaging through a drawer in her desk. She pulled out a photograph, its edges rough with age. This is the only picture I have of him, It was taken on the day I was born. She flipped the picture so I had a clear view of her father. And then I gasped. Because in the photo, holding a seemingly newborn Sarah, was my father. He had the same peppered black hair, the same suit and tie. He looked younger than in the photo I had of him, but there was no mistaking it. This was my father. Which meant Sarah and I were siblings. Well, half siblings, but still, this changed everything. My girlfriend was my sister. Obviously, I had not reacted as Sarah.
Guys, this is the moment. I think this is the moment to find out that she's your father.
Sarah was my half sister. What did this mean? Should I tell her? I immediately shrank away from the thought, as I knew our relationship would never be the same if she found out. But I had a duty to tell her. This was life-changing. But I loved her so much, and I knew this would damage the love we shared. All thoughts of proposing went out the window. I had to think about this. I gotta go home, I told her abruptly. Oh, okay, she replied in surprise. I hated the hurt look on her face, but I had to get out of there. My mind couldn't process it all at once. I left her house quickly, yelling a short goodbye. The way I saw it, there were two choices. Tell Sarah and ruin our relationship, or keep my mouth shut and live a happy life with Sarah. The latter was much more appealing.
He's considering not telling her, like how can you even consider getting married to someone where you're gonna start the relationship not being honest? Like, what if she finds out down the road and she finds it weird? And how's your kids gonna look like? They say that, don't they say that kids get deformed or whatever when, like, same blood is? I don't. Okay.
I wasn't ready to propose, but we were doing good. But then things got really bad. I was studying one day when my mom called and asked me to meet her for lunch. As soon as I saw her, I could tell this was big news. She hugged me and we sat down at a table. What's wrong? I asked her. She seemed slightly agitated, but then she spoke. I've started dating someone. I was shocked at first, but then I smiled. That's great, Mom.
I think I can guess what it is. The father phoned because the father wants him to meet his sister, and now they're gonna meet up there, I think. Let's see.
Your father. I choked on my cup of water, panic seeping into me all over again. He's coming to the house tonight, she said. We're all going to have dinner together. What? I shouted. This was insane. Things couldn't get any worse. My father, who had been absent for most of my life, was coming to meet me for dinner tonight? And what did that mean for Sarah? Would I have to hide my girlfriend from him? How could I possibly do that? Why are you with him? I asked my mom. Well, we started talking and it feels like the right thing to do, she said. But he cheated on you and left you on your own, I said. My mom nodded. Yes, but I still love him. I can't help it. You can't do this, I said angrily. My mom frowned and her voice rose as she spoke. I'll do what I like. You're going to meet your father tonight and you are going to be civil. She stood up from the table and walked out of the restaurant. I had no choice. I had to do what she said. I was going to meet my father tonight, whether I liked it or not. Later that evening, my mom and I sat at home as we waited for my dad to arrive. It was 7 o'clock at night, and he was due to arrive at any second. My stomach was full of butterflies. I didn't know how I felt about meeting my dad. My thoughts were solely on Sarah. I didn't know what this meant for us. Eventually, the doorbell rang and we stepped up to greet my father. My mom swung open the door, only it wasn't my father. It was Sarah. What are you doing here? I burst out. I left my jacket here, replied Sarah. I just wanted to pick it up. I hope you don't mind. Oh, not at all, said my mom. This isn't a great time, I said. Oh, stop it, Brad, scolded my mom. She pulled Sarah in. It's quite a special night. Brad's father is coming to visit. I felt anxiety rise up inside me. If Sarah saw my father and recognized him as her own,
Now you see what happens when you lie. Your lies are gonna catch up to you eventually. Like, he had to know. Like, eventually, his father's gonna come back in his life, or Sarah's gonna find out.
said my mom, I would love it if Sarah met your father. Yeah, I'd love to, said Sarah. I could feel time slipping through my fingers, and then dread coursed through my veins as the doorbell rang for a second time. Oh, that must be him, said my mom. She sounded so nervous. I felt the same. No, wait, I said, but too late. My mom opened the door, and sure enough, there he was. That peppery black hair, the suit and tie. He stepped into our house and looked first to my mom, then me, then Sarah. Wait, whispered Sarah. I didn't look at her. Brad, she said, he is your father? Yes, he is, replied my mom instead. She looked confused. Why? Sarah gasped. This can't be happening. What is it? My mom asked, still puzzled. I turned to Sarah. She seemed to be having a panic attack. Brad, tell me what's happening, said my mom. We have the same dad, I snapped. I breathed heavily, slightly relieved as the truth came out. My father is Sarah's father. My mom raised a hand to her lips in surprise, and my father similarly looked taken aback. Sarah paused for several seconds, but then she darted out the door, past her father, past my father, and disappeared out into the street. I rushed after her, ignoring my mom's pleas to stay inside. Finally, I caught up to her and pulled her to the side. Sarah, wait, I said. We're half siblings, she said in a dazed state. I nodded. Yes, but this doesn't have to mean anything. She pulled her arm from my grasp. You knew? She said in disbelief. I nodded reluctantly. But this doesn't change us, right? We still love each other. I don't know, said Sarah in hesitation. Fear shot through me. Oh, come on, Sarah, I said. You don't mean that. Brad, she said, we can't be together. This isn't right. No, I cried. Who cares? I do, she said. Brad, I'm breaking up with you. It has to be done. I protested, begging her to take it back, to think about how much I loved her. But she raised her hand. No, Brad, she said firmly. This is over. Wait, I started, but she cut me off. I've made up my mind, she said. We're through. Without warning, she bolted, sprinting off into the distance. I rushed after her, but she had disappeared down an alleyway, lost from sight. That was it. Sarah was gone. Fast forward to now, 5 years later. I've graduated college, and I'm working as the manager of a sports equipment store. After Sarah broke up with me, I called and called her for weeks, but she never picked up. And just as quickly as she came into my life, she left it, seemingly without a trace. My mom and dad tried dating for a while, but it didn't work out. And now he's back to doing whatever he was doing, and my mom is at home alone. But I think that's probably for the best. Sarah was my first love, and she was my only sister. When I look back on it now, I always wonder what would have happened if Sarah had never shown me that picture, and if my mom had never gotten back together with my dad. Would Sarah and I have stayed together? Would we have married? Every day I wonder what would have happened, but I guess I'll never know. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my story, leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and check out our other videos. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Okay, so that's all for today's video. It was a okay story, I guess. Weird, not to say the least. Yeah. I did my eyebrows straight. I did my own eyebrows. I put on some makeup because I felt like putting on some makeup. Yeah, I did my hair. I didn't really do my hair is very dirty. So all I did was comb it out in the week. I think the day before yesterday I combed it out. And then I plaited it in 4 plaits. I tied it up, and then when I loosened it today it was like this. And I'm not mad. I'm really not mad at it. So yeah, I felt like looking cute today. I did my own eyebrows. I waxed it. It was very so, but yeah. felt like looking cute. Not that I'm going anywhere. Maybe I'm gonna go out to eat. But I go out to eat, but go get some food. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and turn on your post notifications. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.